Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Farmhouse Mama, and in today's video I am going to be making some gumbo. Yes, that's right, you heard me, some gumbo. And actually this is my first time making it, so I'm very excited about that. You can thank Kenya over at Kenya's Decor Corner for this video, because once I saw her gumbo I just had to try it and make it. So my steps might be a little bit different from hers, but the option or the goal here is to make gumbo. And let me see, probably the first and the last time I had gumbo was, I want to say about it had to be about 4 or 5 years ago. My brother took me and my mom out to Ruth Chris. Is it Ruth Chris? One of them restaurants, I think it was Ruth Chris, for her birthday, and I had the gumbo. And when I tell y'all I was savoring that gumbo, that's how good it was. So anyway, thank you to Kenya's Decor Corner. Please go over and check out her recipe. Again, like I said, mine is going to be a little bit different from hers, but the end game is to feed the masses, right? So I am starting out with some chicken, and I've already washed my hands. I started out with some chicken thighs that I have boiling in this pot right here. Okay, so I got some chicken thighs boiling in this pot right here, and it's just a couple of chicken thighs, and I got some salt, pepper, and some Creole seasoning in there, and I'm actually going to add a little bit of chicken broth. Okay, and that's just going to help give it a little more flavor, so the chicken isn't so bland. Even though it's not going to be once it goes in here, you still want your chicken to have some type of flavor to it. And then I'm going to take my sausage, which I didn't get the andouille sausage. I got the smoked sausage right here from Hillshire Farms, and I just have them cut up into coin size. A little bit more oil in here. So you're going to put some oil in the pan, and you're going to go ahead and get your sausage going. And so once this gets hot, I'm going to be putting my sausage in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my roux in this big pot. And I hope this pot that I have is big enough, because I don't want to make a really big pot, because the only people that are probably going to be eating it is me, my mom, and my husband. My daughter is not going to eat this, I already know. So I have something different for her. But let's go and show you what I'm going to be putting in here. Okay guys, so the first thing I have is this little bag of cut okra. I have a green pepper, 2 teeny little onions. Aren't those cute? That was all they had at the grocery store, so that's what I picked up. I have 1 stick of butter, some vegetable oil. I have some chicken broth, some bay leaves, black pepper and salt, of course, some minced garlic, some flour. I also have 2 cans of chunky crushed tomatoes, some cayenne pepper, some thyme leaves, some Creole seasoning, and some shrimp. And as soon as my oil gets hot, I'm going to go ahead and start cooking the shrimp. I'm sorry, the sausage. And then I'm going to wash off this cutting board and start to cut my vegetables up, so I can get those going as well. Alright, and I also have some of these right here, but I think I'm going to put them back in the refrigerator. They were some green peppers and onions that I had left over from a previous dinner that I had cooked, but now that I had a larger green pepper and onion, I'm going to use that. Plus, I don't want all the water from the from that to get into what I'm cooking, which is totally fine if you want to use frozen vegetables instead of going through all this slicing up like I'm doing. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get the sausage going, and I'll be back. Okay, so my sausage is cooking up really nicely, and I'm going to try to fit everything into this pot right here. I think it is deep enough to accomplish what I'm trying to do, and so hopefully I don't have to pull out the big pot. Anyway, over here, and aren't these pots cute? I finally got my Pioneer pot set for Christmas, y'all. My husband did such a great job. I think the color that he picked out is absolutely perfect, and it matches the theme of my kitchen. They had a lighter blue, but even he didn't like that color. And so when he found this, it was the last one, and I thank him so much for that. But anyway, yeah, oh gosh, and look how it looks on the stove. Isn't that cute, y'all? Cute. Yes. Okay, so over in this pot, I got my okra cooking, and I just put a little bit of water in here and a little bit of chicken broth just to kind of give it a little flavor. I'm going to let that cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. And my chicken is over here cooking in this pot. So I'm going to let that get going, and I will come back after that's done. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to start making the roux for my gumbo, and I started off with a stick of butter, and then I have 1 cup of flour that I'm going to be adding to this when this finally melts. I've cooked my okra, and I've actually added the tomatoes to it after I cooked it. I did drain it and add the tomatoes to it, and my chicken is done. So I'm going to be cutting that up in a minute, but I want to get this roux started because this is going to take a little while to get done. And I've also taken the liberty of cleaning up a little bit. I'm sorry, I have to clean as I go, and that's what I'm trying to teach my daughter right now, that she has to clean as she goes when she's in the kitchen, because nobody wants to clean up a really big mess after they've done all that cooking. So it's better if you clean as you go, and that's one thing that I love about when I watch Kenya's cooking videos, because you can tell that she cleans as she goes, and she makes sure, you know, everything is nice and clean before she moves on to the next step. And I also like her presentation at the end of her video, because when she goes to plate the food, it just looks so pretty. So I like that about her as well, in addition to all the other things that she do also. But I've taken the liberty of chopping up my onions, my green peppers, and some celery. And if I forgot to mention that, there is some celery involved in this recipe. And we're going to get started on the roux. Okay, sorry y'all, gotta get my water in. I'm drinking some water. I'm getting ready to start back going to the gym. I'm actually going to join the gym this year, y'all. Alright, so let's get started on this roux. So you're going to take your flour, and you're going to just begin to pour it in there a little bit at a time. And start mixing it up. I'm going to switch hands on y'all real quick. Okay, there you go. And this is the same way I make a roux when I make my macaroni and cheese. I used to just cut up the cheese and just let it melt into the macaroni and use milk and eggs, but I've learned how to use this, make this roux, and then just let the cheese melt into the roux once it's finished making. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I'll be back in a few minutes to let you guys see what it looks like. Okay, so this is about 15 minutes in of stirring the roux, and it's finally turning that nice dark brown, that caramel color that I want. I'm going to give this probably about 5 more minutes just to let it darken up. In the last 5 minutes, you have to constantly keep stirring this so that it doesn't burn, and then we'll jump to the next step. Okay, so I got the color right, just the way I want it, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add my vegetables in. Okay, so now I've added my green peppers, my onions, my celery, and some garlic, and I'm just going to let this cook a little bit until it kind of becomes a little translucent. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my okra and tomatoes, which I have cooked together over here. So I'm going to add my okra and tomatoes, and my sausage, and then some seasonings, and we're going to go ahead and add the chicken broth and the chicken. Okay, so I don't use that gumbo file either. So to my tomatoes and onions and stuff, I just added a teaspoon of thyme, basil, a little bit of salt, and some black pepper, and the Tony Shisheries Creole seasoning. And then I'm just going to add some chicken broth to it and mix it up. I'm gonna add some more. Probably gonna put a little bit of water in here so it's not too rich or too salty. And then I'm going to let this just simmer for, well, I'm gonna add the chicken and then I'm gonna let it simmer for like an hour. And then after about an hour, I will go ahead and add the shrimp to it. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like. It has all the sausage and the chicken in it. I'm just gonna let this cook for probably another 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the shrimp into it. The taste tester slash hubby, or hubby slash taste tester is home, and I let him taste it and he approves. So I know it's good, because my husband, he'll let you know if it don't taste good or if it needs something else, because he thinks he's a chef anyway. So he'll let you know if something don't taste right, but he approves, so that's good enough for me. And I'll be back and show you what it looks like with the shrimp in it. Hopefully I can get a picture of it nice and plated up, but I don't know, he's home and he's usually really hungry when he gets home, so if I don't get it plated up and at least get a picture of it, I'm gonna try. I promise you, I'm gonna try. Alright guys, so this is